Okay, well, welcome to this special workshop of letting go of not enough and the need for more. It's really like this heart calling of mine. This has been my biggest limiting belief that I've had in my own personal life. And I know that many humans on this planet suffer from the same limiting belief. And so I wanted to take this time to just go and dive deeper into this belief because really in my mind this is the belief that's like plaguing this planet. There's so much of this going on in our society and we're programmed about this from a very young age, from whether it's our parents or our teachers or our friends or coworkers or whatever it is. It's like the programming just continues into adulthood. And why it's important to have awareness about this is there was a time when we were younger, when we were children, that we didn't actually necessarily have this, you know, where we were instead focused on using our imaginations rather than the need for more and feeling like we don't have enough or that we aren't enough. We just kind of were, right? We just kind of were. And so my intention of this workshop today is to, by the end of it, bring us all back into that state of that pure innocence, right? Where you can really, that's the place where you can really create from, like, and create in a really powerful way. Um, Really, it's like one of those secrets that many people don't even know about is this innocence that we can be in. And what's so cool is that superconscious recode brings us back to this state of innocence. And it's the most powerful tool that I personally know of to create this shift in consciousness back to that innocence, back to that not needing to know where creation comes from. Because when you have that empty space, right, that's where like the magic can really happen. From that void, from that nothingness comes everything. And so that is my mission with this. That is my intention. This is going to be actually the first of a series of different free events, and this first it's going to cover at least five of the main limiting beliefs. And this is one of a few which I'll go into a little later, but this is the one that I find has the most impact on the way that people make choices, on the way that people feel their thoughts, and it's like that underlying belief that really can cause a lot of suffering in life. And so when we can move through this and move to a place where we're not trapped anymore by this, it's really freeing. It's really a place of liberation and freedom. And so I want to start today actually by hearing from you. So I want to just hear like how this not good enough belief has an impact on your life and kind of like what you believe that it's caused. And so we can I kind of want to give an opportunity for everyone to share for maybe about like a minute if if everyone can share. Um, let's start with um, Katie. Are you there, Katie? Yep, I see you coming up to the camera.
I am here, but I've got a couple things I've got to complete real quick. I'm
Oh,
sorry. Can
sure.
you move on and I'll come back?
Sure.
Thank you.
Let's go to Marilyn. Go ahead and unmute and share.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Oh, okay, all right. This all started when I was a child. You know, my parents were cold. Um, and they didn't like me very much. And then I had to go to a Catholic school, a 3-room Catholic school. See, I was very seriously ADHD, so I was always in trouble with everybody. And so, I was bad from the time I was a child. And, so yeah, that all started very early. And it's totally screwed up my life, for sure.
Yeah, it can. And so, yeah, is there anything else you want to share, or does that feel complete?
Well, I think I'm okay right now. I think that's good enough. Is
Okay.
that what you wanted?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a really great awareness
Okay.
there. Thank you, Marilyn.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to Amanda. Go ahead and unmute.
Okay, well, I grew up with two very perfectionist parents who led me early on to believe that I could never be enough because I wasn't perfect. And so if I wasn't perfect, I never got acknowledged for doing good. Although I tried to be good, and I think it made me a people pleaser. It made me reticent to share my own talents and skills. And yeah, yeah. So not
Yeah.
being good enough or not reaching what I was supposed to be, right? So
Yep, you got it.
yeah,
Yeah, there's always a supposed to.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah. I try not to do that to me now. I've done a lot of work on that, but still, it comes, particularly trying to put out, sound healing and opening my voice, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the stuff you really love, right? That's when it
Yeah.
shows itself the most.
That was really like,
Yeah, you got it. Yeah,
and
great.
the funny thing is I was given all those lessons, I was given music lessons, dance lessons, voice lessons. But, it was always like, well, you're not really supposed to do that. This is supposed to make you a, well-cultured young woman so that you can marry the, doctor or lawyer who can support you to your, what you're supposed to be supported as. But, anyway, I rebelled against all of that, went the other way.
Yeah.
Long journey around. Yeah. So.
Totally. Yeah. Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great share. So let's go on to Noah. Go ahead and share.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Michael, it's really good to be here. I appreciate you and what you're doing. So yeah, not good enough. That has been like sort of a unwelcome stowaway on my boat for a very long time. And I definitely feel like I've gotten better around it over the last, year or so, a couple years, whatever. But for me, how it showed up for me mostly was this sense that I needed to um, fix everything inside of me before I could do anything. So it was like this, multi-year quest going down the rabbit hole inside of me, um, searching for healing and coaching and plant medicine and like you name it, right? And therapy and all the ways of trying to be good enough, trying to get ready, and at the cost of a lot of external possibilities or successes, but really like, okay, one of these days I'll be ready enough to, good enough to move forward. And I've been really thinking a lot about that lately. So the timing of this call is very non-accidental. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Noah. That's a really great share, and I'm so happy you're here. Yeah, it's like that thing that stops you before you even begin, right? It's like that's the biggest devastation of the not good enough. You don't even get sometimes a chance to really go for it because you think you have to be like have it all perfect and you have to be whole already and have it all together and then you can begin, right?
And ironically, we are whole already, right?
Yep.
That's like that's the twist.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is the twist for sure. So yeah, thank you, Noah. Okay. Let's go to Shule. Shule, are you there? Go ahead and unmute.
Hi, I'm here finally. Um, yeah, I also grew up with I mean, as growing up, nothing was enough, right? In the school system, you had to be more than whatever, and I was just average student. And my mother would always say, well, if you're gonna do anything, you better do it the best way or don't even do it at all. So that stuck with me, which kind of sometimes paralyzes me even before I begin anything, because if I can't do it perfect, I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't put any time into it. And that is my biggest block, which I am actually now pushing against. Because like, you know that last year I tried to be a court interpreter for Turkish English. And apparently I got like the highest grades, but I have been hesitant to go on courts and do the interpretations because I am still not perfect in my mind. Because I may make mistakes and that would affect people's lives. And I am so like, I've been so scared of that I was always pushing it away and having anxiety attacks. And now my friends are like, you got to start doing, and then you will get there, you know, after you start doing it. So that idea for me, you are enough as it is, just you need practice. That's all you need. You need real life practice. So I am now actually next week going on a real court in Santa Ana. I'm flying there and it's kind of scary. I'm still very scared, and I feel like I studied last year, but this year I have not practiced enough. Like I'm not enough. Like that's in my mind, and I'm trying to convince myself the other way. But by trying to study, and that keeps me from even studying or practicing. Like it's such a heavy emotional block that it prevents me from getting ready in a normal way, you know, and that gives me anxiety. So this is the perfect timing for the kind of conversation for me.
Totally. And if you think about it, I mean, think about even just learning an instrument, right?
Yeah.
You don't pick it up and you're not like this master musician suddenly. You have to practice. And that's how everything is. Even, you know, even teaching, you have to practice.
Yep.
And it's like you don't learn it unless you just start doing it. And all the fear comes actually before you even start.
It's funny
And
because I was teaching English. I used to tell my students, just make any mistakes, just practice, just do it. And then I can't even do it myself. I was telling them that. And now I'm like, I need to tell myself that.
Totally. There's always like that's the funny thing. There's always like the knowing of it. And then there's like the embodied wisdom of what you know. And those are two completely different things. And so today, part of this intention too is like, let's all embody this a little bit more, you know,
Yeah.
let's all practice together. So thank you, Sheila. I'm so glad
Thank you
you're
for
here.
doing this. Thank you.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
good for me.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And there'll be more. Okay. So let's go to Catherine. Go ahead and unmute and share.
Yeah, so um this most plagued me as a teenager, I would say. Teenager and early adult life, like early 20s, because when I was a young child and through age like 14, I was really I really followed my heart into a lot of things, and I did all these plays and musicals and sang a lot and got all these lead roles, and I was really like on my way to pursuing kind of a career in theater. But then once I got to high school, there was a lot of instability kind of at home and in my family. And yeah, all of a sudden, all of this like not good enough just sunk in, and it completely like changed the trajectory of my life. And then now, 20 years later at 34, I'm like stepping back into my purpose as a, professional singer songwriter and a voice teacher. I mean, I've been doing it now for a couple years, but I'm like really on my path at this moment. But it was like a 20-year detour, um, basically, because I didn't feel good enough, so I just stopped doing what I loved. It was my path of no regrets, but it's pretty interesting how long it took me to like come back to my true nature and what I really wanted to do in this life. But very grateful for finding it again.
Yeah, it's very it's very interesting how much it can actually deter from following your heart and from what like comes naturally is even a better way to put it. And it's also, I think this not good enough is tied into the other limiting beliefs. That's why I think this one's so important. It almost like this is the main one of like that separation that creates those other limiting beliefs too. It's like, to me, they're all kind of birthed from here. So like, the other ones are like, I don't belong or I'm not capable. There's the one that was already coming up, which is like, I'm not perfect. I have to be perfect before I begin, things like that. So to me, they're all like totally tied in to this main one. That's what I've been finding at least. So thank you, Catherine. Really great share. Let's move on to Wanda. Go ahead and unmute and share. If you're there.
Here we go.
There you go.
Hello, everyone. So what's been coming up for me is my mom passed recently, and a lot of our interactions have been coming forward in my mind, and how how much my childhood affects who I am now, and the good things and the things that are not so good, or that I choose not to have in my life anymore. So that's what I'm going to be working on this week. And a big part of that is still communication. My mother was very empathic, and she trained me to be that way. So a lot of things that I don't talk about, I think that people can understand where I'm coming from without me saying it aloud. So that's something that I have to work on now, because I can see it more clearly and I can recode it.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Your awareness sounds like it's increasing, which is what this work does. Yeah.
Boy, does it.
Just a little bit. I mean, I personally believe it's the greatest awareness enhancer that I've ever discovered. And I've done, like Noah was saying, like I've done a lot too. I've done I've tried a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
And it was all to end up here, you know. So thank you, Wanda.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, so let's see who else we got. We have Elizabeth who just joined, and Elizabeth, if you want to share, we're just sharing what kind of like the impact the not enough limiting belief has had on your life, and maybe if you have any awareness to where you think it started, just if you want to share about that, you go ahead and unmute.
Sure, thank you. And thank you for letting me in late. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's a thread through my entire life. And I had an experience on Friday that brought a lot of stuff up. I had a fight with my daughter at the airport as she was leaving for the weekend to go spend the weekend with her dad. And I traced back all of the motivation.
Oh, I think she got cut out. Well, we'll come back to Elizabeth when she comes back in. Okay. So yeah, so thank you for sharing, you know, this. Oh, yeah, we have to come back to Katie. Thank you. So Katie, go ahead and share about not enough and what the impact it's had.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for sharing so vulnerably. It was interesting because as I heard each of you speak, Noah especially, but each one of you were talking about things that I'm like, oh yeah, that's me too. Oh yeah, oh boy, yes, yes. So I really related to, how everybody's experience, which is interesting because I always thought I was alone and in my own little bubble. And it comes to find out we're all more alike than we are different, I think. We just look different. Um, anyway, I was born into very severe physical and sexual abuse and child trafficking and that kind of stuff. And so there was, I always had the message that I was just an object to be used and abused. Um, and coming through life, I've experienced, as they say, we attract what we are, and so I attracted a whole lot more abuse and a whole lot more abuse, and I've been on the road of healing all my life, basically from one thing to another, and finding out that that the healing process is not one thing, it's not one place, it's not one time, it's not a journey that we get to, accomplish or arrive at, or it just is the journey itself. It's life, learning that I'm not enough, that just always was the program. There was never an incident or something that said, oh, you're not enough now. I always had that message. So now I'm working on the changing that message from a conscious place. And that takes awareness. And Michael and the process is helping me to be more aware because of the circumstances of my life and the abuse. I live in a great deal of dissociation. Lights are on, nobody's home. I can't cope in, much of the world because I reached the end of coping, and so this has been helping me a lot to, little by little, these little windows, these moments of awareness that happen. And I'm like, oh, that's what this feels like to live. Oh, this is what it feels like to be whole. I'm getting windows of it and moments. And so I'm hooked, and I'll go wherever Michael's going to go because I want more of that, Anyway, I don't know. I think I answered the question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Katie. That was great. Like, thank you for being so brave too to share that vulnerably with all of us. And yeah, the image that was coming to me about what you're sharing about the awareness is like that. It starts with like one drop of water or one drop of rain, right? And that one drop can become a whole lake or the whole ocean, right? So it starts with that little drop and expands from there. So that's all that can happen once you start getting those little drops. They keep expanding. So it's beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so Elizabeth, let's try you again. Go ahead and unmute and share.
Okay, I'll be quick. Sorry, my internet's not stable tonight, I guess. Yeah, just I guess through the process of having this upset on Friday morning, I just went into some really deep inquiry around what it was all about. And I got to see how basically every decision that I had made, and I tracked it all the way back from basically back to birth, was based in a fear response. And so much has opened up since then, but it's the awareness, right? So I'm really excited to play now that I can see where each of the where the programming came from, and where the not enoughness or the fear of not being enough like drove every single decision. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here, Elizabeth. And yeah, also I think the sharing's so important because one of the things I'm driven to bring to people, because I know that feeling of being alone is so strong. Like, we don't have to feel alone in it if we all share about it and we're all in this together. So that's why I've started these groups, and that's why I'm going to continue to expand on like what I'm sharing in these groups. And we'll get started with diving into this not enough right now. And this is all meant to start placing those little drops of water in right now, because it's what I'm going to share with you is, I think, going to expand that awareness a little bit or a lot for you, depending on where you're at. So the first thing I want to share with you is that this is the truth. No matter what you do, you will always not be enough. Like, I don't care what you do. You can try to clear those limiting beliefs, heal those limiting beliefs, pay people lots of money to show you the right way to do things and how to fix yourself. And just go back and think for a moment, like, has any of the stuff you've ever done fully gotten rid of your belief that you're not good enough? Has anything? I mean, just really think about it for a moment. Yeah, and I'm already seeing heads nod like this. The truth is, no matter what you do, it's a creation that's already been created. And it's okay that it's not wrong. It's not a wrong creation. Like, it's okay whatever your belief is, whether it got created when you were young and a child and didn't know any better, or it got created in a past life and you brought it in with you. It doesn't matter. It's there, right? It's never going to go away. It's never going to go away. And it's powerful to grasp this, because when you accept that it's never going to go away, it doesn't have to feel like anything's wrong with you anymore. The sooner you can accept that this is a part of you, that no matter what you do, no matter how many things, like, it's going to be with you the rest of your life. Now, that doesn't mean it has to control you, because it doesn't. And that's the part that we tend to get mixed up in, like, we place this is my identity, this is who I am, and then you go down that rabbit hole of this is who I am because this is my identity, this is who I've always been, right? And so I want to share with you that, yeah, like, just really be with that for a moment. Just really be with that, because this is not what other people tell you. You know, we live in a problem-solving world. Everybody wants the solution. Everybody wants the way out, right? This is what people are telling you, that you can clear this, that you can heal this. And there's all these different ways of doing it, right? If you really start looking on the internet, there's literally thousands of healing modalities. And how many have you done that have completely cleared that thought out of your mind? So just think about that for a moment. Like, I'm talking eradicate, gone. Yeah, it's probably zero. So that's why you're here, right? So this is part of this process, actually. The acceptance of this is so huge and will make such a dramatic impact on your life when you can accept it as the truth. And this is just the way it is. And why it's the way it is because there's even laws. There's a specific law that actually states this and why this is so. And this is the law of conservation of energy that says energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Now think about that for a moment. If energy can neither be created nor destroyed, this is just who you are, right? This is just who you are. This is how you came. This is who you are. Now, what's really cool about this law is that energy can only be converted from one form of energy to another. So think about that for a moment. It can only be converted from one form of energy to another. And so that means that you can't get rid of it. You can't clear it. But you can convert it to something else. And what converts those beliefs in your mind? There's one thing, and one thing alone that can do it. And it's your focus. It's where you're focusing the energy. Where you focus your energy gives that power, creates your reality. It's as simple as that. That's the most simplest way to put it. So you can choose to put your power, which can also be called your imagination and what you're creating. You can choose to put that down the rabbit hole of limiting beliefs. This is our free will. We have this choice. So you can choose to put it there, or you can choose to put the focus, you know, on all these things that you would love to do, that you would love to create in the world. And that's always like the truth of it, right? But where we get stuck is thinking that our identity is just one or just the other, right? Because we can be in those super conscious states, that state of really being in the eternity of it all, right? And it's so blissful, it's so joyful. And we can go right back, even directly after a state like that, and be in the complete opposite, right? So thinking that we're only here to experience one state is already the cause of suffering. It's already the cause. And so that's why this acceptance is so important, and knowing these laws that exist in the universe, you know, like knowing these laws and abiding by these laws help relieve that suffering. We realize we don't have to suffer anymore. And so this focus, right? This is something that it's ancient wisdom, right? But it was rediscovered in a big way about 100 years ago. And this started the New Thought movement that's still going on today. And the New Thought movement is great because it talks about all of this. What you believe, what you think creates your reality, right? That's always what they're saying. And the thing is, it's a great movement, and it's not all of it. Because if you're not taking into account how you actually feel and what's actually going on in your life, and you're just saying, I am this, or I am that, or whatever, you could say mantras over and over and over and over, right? Thousands and thousands of times, and still not be it. That's just, that's just how it is. And there's a reason for that. It's because when you're doing that, it's like trying to convince, whether you want to call it your ego or your unconscious mind, but that place where those limiting beliefs all come from. It's like trying to convince that unconscious mind that it's something else than what it is. So guess what happens when you try to convince it that it's something else? It's going to come back like with a vengeance, and it's going to come back and stop you even more. And it's going to come back and tell you, who are you to be doing this? And it's going to just pull you totally back. And because it's like, that's what this New Thought movement didn't take into account. And it's great because it's kind of like this evolution, right? And now more and more people are becoming aware that you can't spiritually bypass, you can't avoid, because you do, and you could even start to get some of those things. And if you haven't dealt with your current reality, with the way that things have been, it can crumble really fast. You can even get it for a moment and then lose it. And so that's why I think it's so important to start bringing awareness to this not good enough, because it is the thing that takes us out of the game so often. And so with that focus being the truth, and remember, like, your unconscious is the past and all of your limiting beliefs. So that's one part of you. Your superconscious is the place of no time and no space. It's eternity. There's no right or wrong, no judgment. It's only here for the experience. And so think about this for a moment. So coming back, it's like, when you're trying, so this is coming back to like fixing and clearing and healing. So where's the focus when you're trying to clear your beliefs? Just think about where the focus is. It's on the fact that you're wrong. You're innately wrong. There's something wrong with you, right? There's something wrong with your beliefs. And think about where the focus is when you're trying to fix yourself. It's on the fact that you're broken. So something's broken, so you need to fix it within you. And then think about the focus when you're trying to heal yourself from something, right? It's focusing on the fact that you're not whole already. And so focus creates reality. Remember that. Focus creates reality. So when you're focusing on these things, and it's, again, it's not wrong. It's like kind of what we've all been taught. But this is a new perception. This is a new way of being. This is a new way of thinking. When we don't have to go there and we just place awareness on it, but we don't have to go dig in, we can focus on what we want to create even better. But we're not avoiding the current reality ever, because the current reality and the way that it's been is such an important part of this process. It's like coming to me just how important it is. Like after, it's been almost a year and a half of doing this work and like living it, being it. And when you don't avoid that, when you take that into account, because of the way that the laws are, you will actually get what you truly want, like what your heart truly wants, will come faster. It will, because it's just the law. And when we work with the laws instead of against them, is where we can be super conscious. We can come into that super conscious self, that super conscious state, that place of all possibilities that just exists. So right now, what I really want to do before we get into this recode is, so you can have awareness of what the not enough does, I want to bring you deeper into what that not enough is causing in your life and the lives of many, 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 many people. So again, we have these other core limiting beliefs that I believe are related to this not good enough. That's that I don't belong, I'm not capable, I'm not perfect, I'm not worthy, or otherwise put, I don't deserve. And then we have this not good enough that we're talking about today. And this not good enough is related to this sense of wholeness within ourselves. It's super related to the sense of wholeness that we experience in life. And guess what? Your ego, your unconscious mind, does not want you to be whole. That's the last thing it wants. It does not want you to be whole, because guess what? If you're whole, it loses all its power. It thinks it's gonna die. Like, you know, there's that whole killing off the ego thing, which is not possible. As I stated earlier, you can't kill it off. And it's kind of like, you think about yourself. If you lose your identity completely, like, who are you? You're gonna feel super lost, right? You're gonna feel super lost. You're not gonna know who you are. It doesn't feel safe, right? To completely lose your identity. And this is what's happening with the ego. It doesn't know even that it's doing anything wrong. It's not aware. Your unconscious, your ego is just trying to keep itself safe, which is keeping you safe too, it thinks. And so if you were to be whole, that would be the end of the ego, right? And the ego can't have that. Just can't have it. And so I wanted to just kind of share how the few ways how, this can play out in your life. And this comes to the beliefs, the thoughts, and the feelings that this not good enough creates. And so what it often creates, and this comes into like that, and the need for more, right? It really creates this need for more. And so what it causes is this compulsive trying, attempting. It's compulsive. The goal is to become whole through success and hard work. anything that is done easily is suspect. It has to be hard. Success can only be achieved through a lot of hard work. And it's like trying and attempting over and over and over again. And you have to work hard to get there. And so this creates a lot of actually overachievement. And you're going to keep trying so you can prove that you're good. You need to prove that you're good. But the truth remains that you're not good enough. And so this can also, with this overachievement, it often causes that burnout, that not being able to stop and then burning out. And it's interesting because how this plays out actually creates a lot of, this is also the thing that drives people to desire these really big achievements in life, right? And there's why these huge, massive achievements are made in the world by individuals. You know, I'm talking about like those Nobel Prize winners. Like that kind of achievement is driven also by this not good enough. And there's a way to go about it that's in that creative structure. And there's a way to go about it that's in the problem-solving structure. So if you're just trying to resolve not feeling good enough and doing whatever it takes to feel good enough, that's when you're in the problem solving. When you're doing what you love and it's your passion and it drives you, that's the creative structure. So that's how you know the difference. One's going to wear you down. One, you're just going to have like this boundless energy to put towards. And so the not good enough also sets up achievements. It will set up achievements that it intentionally does not want to get acknowledged. And if you receive acknowledgement for your achievement, then that's going to contradict it. If you receive acknowledgement, you're going to be good enough. So you actually set yourself up. It's like that self-sabotage. You self-sabotage so that it's like that what we were talking about, that stopping yourself before you even begin. That's what's causing that. Because if you were to actually get that and do that and receive the acknowledgement for it, then it would contradict this underlying belief of not enough. And so because of this, we're also always looking to better ourselves, because enough is literally never enough. And that causes, that is why there is this self-help, self-improvement, industry out there that's massive, because so many people suffer from this, right? Because it's, how can I be better? How can life be better? Is the question that's always being asked. And the unconscious mind wants to know the how. So give me the how so I can do it. And so this causes to be like very future orientated, always rushing ahead. Like, gotta be in the future, can't be here now, gotta be in the future. Now's not enough, right? And it can also cause lots of shitting, like shitting on yourself, which I know I'm sure we all do, because that's how we beat ourselves up for not being enough. Should have done this, I should have done that, I could have done this, I could have done that. And this keeps it in existence, right? And ultimately, the not enough, the biggest feeling that we get from it is this feeling of emptiness, just complete emptiness. Because what's the opposite of whole? Empty. That's why that empty feeling appears. And so when we can start having the awareness of this is the not enough presenting itself, and there's actually nothing I can do to make it go away. That is the point where we have the choice to where we want to put our focus now. And this is the point that we're at here, now, in this moment. And it's where we're going to be every moment. So I apologize if you came to this thinking you were going to clear the not enough and you would never have to deal with it again. But I'd be lying to you if I said that was true. From my own personal experience, and think about your personal experience too. I mean, if you were like, oh man, Michael is just like, what the hell is he talking about? You probably would have left. But you know, in your heart, there's truth to this, right? Just feel into that. There's truth to this. And so how can we move through this, and how can we create a life despite the not enough that's going to come up, especially in the moments where we're really going for what we love, right? That's when it's really going to come up. Well, luckily, there's a process called Superconscious Recode that takes you through exactly what's necessary to move through and make a choice and change the focus, right? And what it has the amazing ability to do is bring you straight into that possibility, to the point where you feel it, like it's palpable. You know it to be true. And the more we can convince our bodies that this is true, that we are these powerful creators, that we do have a choice, that it's not about only one focus and then ignoring everything, but it's the more we can have this increased awareness actually and become the observer of our limiting beliefs, like the not enough. Say, okay, I see you. And then like literally have the awareness enough to not just see, but like express. You know, that's what Recode does. It helps you express. So you get to express the beliefs coming up. You get to express your thoughts. You get to express the feelings and the emotions, so they're not just in you, right? And because that's expressed, now you have a new starting point for your navigation of life. This is now your starting point. Before, your starting point was the past, which, you know, this not enough and the other limiting beliefs are important because they are the starting point in your life. They are the starting point of awakening. You know, it's the starting point that gives you the know-how to navigate this planet, right? So think of it, these limiting beliefs are also a gift that allow us to navigate through this journey of life. And so the more awareness we can have that this is not a curse, this is a gift, so that I can even have awareness. Like, think about that. If you were already there, you wouldn't even have the awareness that you're not. So this is like the think of it as like the navigational tool. Your current reality is the navigational tool. Your choice is your North Star, right? That guides you. So you keep choosing that choice and you keep letting your limiting beliefs show you where you are. And as you keep doing that again and again and again, the gap closes until you are that future self that you're choosing to be. And that's how creation works. That's how creation works the most powerfully that I've known it. And so this is why I've been so excited to share this. And now we're gonna go through this process together. And right now what I want is everybody, you know, it always starts with a choice. And I just want to acknowledge too, we've been going about an hour now. Probably gonna go about 20 more minutes if that's okay with everybody. Just to get through this recode process. So it always starts with a choice, because the choice is your focus. It's the new focus you're creating. And remember, energy is neither created or destroyed. So this is the starting point. It's the energy where it was already at, is the truth. And now you can't shift the energy though. You can bring the energy into a different focus, and that's what we're doing here. And that's why it's so powerful. So what I want you to do now is make that choice that's straight from your heart, the choice of something that you would just love to have in your life. Like, what's that first thing that pops in? It's like you don't even have to think about it. It's just there. It already knows. That's your super conscious in action. That's your heart. That's you tuning in. And that's a true choice. So what I'd love everybody to do is when you have that choice, go ahead and put it into the chat. And that's going to ground it into reality. We're now bringing what's in your mind into reality. So go ahead and put that in the chat. I'll give you a moment here. So I'm going to read out these choices too. So I'm seeing the choice of confidence.
Sorry, Michael, are we writing a choice that we are making about what we want to achieve, or?
It's whatever, so it can be related to you're not enough or not. It's any choice you want to make, but let's say you could make a choice if you want to do it about this not enough topic. Like, just think about what's the opposite of you're not enough. That would be what you actually want. Yeah. Yeah. We're always choosing what we want, taking the focus off what we don't want, acknowledging what we don't want, but making a new focus. And so I'm seeing some great choices here already. I'm seeing vibrant energy and amazing health in my physical body. I'm seeing clarity, focus, and amazing self-care. Lots of amazing things happening today. I love it. So everybody else, just feel free when that choice comes through and it's true to you, just put it in the chat. I'm seeing choosing to live my life to the fullest authentic expression every day, even with any fear. I choose a life of vitality, abundance, and love. Yeah. Living my true nature and purpose. Yeah, that's always like, that's a great choice to make every day. I'm seeing vibrant health, clarity, and memory. Yeah. Cool. So as everybody else is getting into their choices, just go ahead and put them in the chat, and we're gonna now get into these end results. So what I want you all to do now is say out loud your choice and say, I choose the end result of. Then go ahead and say it. Yeah, so now you've voiced it. You're voicing it, you're declaring it, you're choosing it, you're focusing on it, you've now written it down, you've spoken it. So now go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to really own it. And reminding you that your whole body, your whole being responds the best to when you can get into the emotion and the feeling of already having it. So just stay in your choice and just really start to feel like you already have it. You're already there. And start amping up that emotion of already having it. This choice, this dream. You have it. What does that feel like? Just keep amping up those emotions you're feeling. And feel it in your heart. And feel it in your mind, and start to imagine. Imagination is so powerful. So if you can, start to imagine what it looks like when you have this. What are you doing? Who are you with? Where are you? Just get as much detail and clarity in there as you can. And if you can't, if you have a hard time imagining and seeing things, that's okay. Just keep imagining the feeling. The feeling is really, really strong. And so keep expanding that from your heart, your mind, out to your whole body, your arms, your legs, down your spine, just expanding out to your whole entire being. This is you in that choice. This is the future you now. And so, wow. It's powerful. We got a powerful group here. So whenever you feel complete in that, and what's cool about this is even like a minute's plenty, but if you're really feeling it, just keep going. And when you feel complete in this experience, just go ahead and type into the chat, what emotions do you feel right now? What specific emotions are you feeling? Go ahead and put it into the chat so we can share in this together. I see giggly, powerful and limitless, expansive, clear, connected, happy, ecstatic joy and fulfillment, so much play, freedom, joy, open, strength. Yeah, it feels pretty awesome, huh? Yeah, I was personally feeling like literally like energy pulling me up, like up, like rising up from my crown. Super powerful. So yeah, that's how you feel when you're in this true choice, and that's how you know it's a true choice. Is because this is you. This is you in your natural state before any limiting beliefs entered you. This is the natural you. This is the superconscious you. This is you connected to everything. This is possibility. This is freedom, right? So now what we're going to do to really, this really helps ground it all in. This really helps bring it into reality and face it and not look away from it. That's why we look at the current reality. We go through it. We don't go around it. So what I want you to do is now put into the chat, like, how has it been compared to this choice you're making? How has it really been? And go all out. Like, what are your emotions and feelings and beliefs? How has it been? And what's actually been going on in your life? Like, just let it all out. No need to keep it in. And reminding you that this group is completely safe. This is all here for us. And actually, as I read this back, I won't even be saying your name. So if people watch this after the fact, they won't even know it's you. So I'm seeing needing to study more to become better and fear of making mistakes. Yeah. Yeah, that's like the perfect example, like you mentioned earlier, of that's the not enough playing out in your life. That's where the fear is stemming from. Because at some point, you know, this is the fact, like at some point, you decided how it is. You decided this is how life is. And so I'm seeing lost in pain, suffering, aloneness, chaos, sadness, frustration, loss, and lost. Yeah, it can bring up a lot, you know. Struggle, low energy, getting sick, feeling held back and frustrated with my body. Unmotivated, frustrated, not enough, get distracted. Fighting with my daughter, gained 15 pounds, watching the bank balance dwindling, feeling lonely. Yeah, these are all real things. This is life, right? This is what's really going on. This is what we deal with as humans, you know? And the more we can place our awareness on this, you know, without getting sucked down the rabbit hole, actually it brings us into our power more because we embrace all of it. We embrace this whole human experience and we know who we are. We know that there's a super conscious part of us too. And I'm seeing it's been a struggle, a lot of pain, feeling stuck for way too long, paralyzed with fear at times, like I can't do a single thing, feeling such frustration, knowing how much I have to offer and yet being unable to express it, like being in quicksand and like wanting to scream at times, but my mouth won't open. Wow, that was very descriptive. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that nails it. Like, guess what? I've been there too. I've been exactly there. I've been exactly where all of you are right now, you know? And this is why it's like, this is why it's so important because, especially in a group, I bet you don't feel as alone right now as maybe you do sometimes. So now just remember, this is the navigation point. We are setting the navigation point. We are about to set sail towards that North Star. But now we've gotten this out. Now there's no avoiding it. Now we can move through. And so what I'd like everyone to do is choose a number between 1 and 10. And it's like, how much resistance are you having towards your choice? Scale from 1 to 10. 1 being feels super easy. I can have it right now pretty much. Or 10 feels like impossible, you know, or somewhere in the middle. Just feel into that. Feel where you are. It's okay to be where you are. Nothing wrong with it at all. So I'm seeing a 9, 4, 8. A 3, a 9. Yeah. Okay. So I want you to come back now. We're going to go into the recode part of it. And this process before the recode is just as important as the recode because it helps unpack what's underneath and bring you that increased awareness. And it's all the steps to create. So right now, I just want you to get comfortable. Go ahead and close your eyes. And think about that powerful choice you're making again. Just think about it. Think about who came up with that choice. It was you. And so this is your focus. This is what your heart truly wants. And remember, even just a few moments ago, you were able to feel like you were already there. So that means it is 100% possible to be there. And so just take a few deep breaths, 3 deep breaths in your nose and out your mouth. Coming into that beautiful place of innocence. That beautiful experience before these beliefs were created. And relaxing and receiving all the gifts that your superconscious has to give you today. So go ahead and say, I give Michael permission to connect with my superconscious. Thank you. And superconscious, are you there? Yes. Superconscious, are there any parts that are resisting treatment or scared of treatment today? Or even scared of dying? Superconscious, do you see the metaphor of the stream, the boulders blocking the flow of water? Do you understand that metaphor? Superconscious, please create the perfect treatment plan today for everyone and their true choices and end results. Treating everything in the perfect order and in the perfect way. Thank you. The superconscious, please now bring up all the resistance in this group field into the active experience now so that it may be treated with the intention of more satisfaction and less pain in life. Thank you. Superconscious, please treat the belief that I am chained to my past, that my past completely dictates not only my present, it also dictates my future. And I am completely bound to my past and all of my choices and mistakes of the past. Please treat all resistance and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Thank you. And superconscious, please treat the root chakra. Treating the sense, the experience of safety, of home, of security, of the natural abundance that already exists. Please treat both front and back, treating everything in the perfect order, in the perfect way. And please also treat the entire chakra system and meridian system. Treating everything so that it comes into perfect balance the way that it's meant to be. Please treat all resistance and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Thank you. And superconscious, please treat all other body systems as needed. And superconscious, please also treat this feeling, this experience of life that I've been cursed. That I'm cursed and now everything is playing out from this curse. It's almost like there's this dark magic that I'm now a victim of. And I have no control over it. It's happening to me and I can't control it. Please treat all resistance and do a massive change history. Thank you. And please also treat this part that believes I'm so foolish. I'm so foolish for the things that I've done. I'm so foolish for the choices that I've made. I'm so foolish for thinking this would work, that I could do this. There's all that resistance around that sense of foolishness, defining the world through this foolishness. Please treat this part and please treat all definitions of myself, of others, of the world. Treating everything in the perfect order and in the perfect way and doing a massive change history. Thank you. And superconscious, please treat all family entanglements, both ancestral and current entanglements, the entire lineage. Please treat the original event. And please treat across all timelines, past, present, future. Especially this experience of life, this feeling of not enough. Please treat that specifically. treating everything in the perfect order and in the perfect way, and doing a massive change history. Thank you. And superconscious, if there is any remaining resistance in any aspects, definitions, parts, any resistance at all that is willing to be treated today, please treat all resistance and do a massive change history, and everything as needed, treating everything in the perfect order and in the perfect way. Thank you. And superconscious, please ground in all the memories we've touched on today, including memories 1, 2, and 3, superconscious, unconscious, self-conscious, and bring them back into the matrix of the universe, grounding in today's true choices and end results into reality now. And please treat everything for as long as needed, even after this group session is complete. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let that continue to set in and process as long as you need. A lot was worked on today, for sure. So just trust everything's been taken care of to bring you more into the creative you, the imaginative you, the you that knows that your focus creates your reality, and the you that chooses to focus on creation. And whenever you're back, go ahead and put into the chat where your resistance level is at now. I'm seeing 6 down to a 3. I'm seeing an 8 down to a 4, a 9 down to a 4, a 9 down to a 7, and a 3 or a 4 down to a 1, and a 3 down to a 2. Yeah, so just chipping away, and just knowing that again, this increases your awareness and brings you into the possibility of truth. And each time we chip away a little more, and over time, it's like, you know, when you're making something, right, molding something, it takes time. You know, it's not always overnight, even though the not enough wants it now. It's not always overnight. So just keep making the choice, stay in the possibility. Don't avoid what it's currently like. That's like the process. So the more you can do this on a daily basis, make your choices, visit the current reality, feel into that end result and all the emotions. The more you just are that, because remember, you have to be it to see it. So the more you can be it, the more you can see it in your life. And I'm grateful for all of you joining today to make the choice to create, because that's what this is. This is creative development. This is not personal development. This is not self-help. This is empowering you as the creator, as you are. Like, this is who you were born as. This has always been your choice. And so now you're just aware of it, right? And so now you can keep choosing different what to focus on, what to give the power to. And yeah, just really grateful. Oh my God, I wish it's like, there's seriously this part of me that could just do this for hours with you. Because this is my happy place. This is my passion. It brings me such great pleasure to share this powerful work. And yeah, I wanted to just share a few things before we end tonight. So many of you are already in the Superconscious Recode Club, but just wanted to share that we meet every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And this is like a group membership that you can join. And it only costs $47 a month. And we're seriously doing this every week. We're getting together. We're taking this journey together because this is the way that makes it easier, right? This is the way that we don't have to stay in that suffering and stay in it alone. We get to be on this journey together. So I do that. That's an offering every week. And then, of course, I also do one-on-one Recode coaching. And if you've never had a one-on-one session, this is just, you know, a more personalized experience of what we just did. And it's personalized to you, which can also be of great benefit and bring up more awareness of those limiting beliefs that are underneath, that are actually, without sometimes knowing it, without your awareness, you know, they're driving the car, they have the wheel, they're taking you to these places that you don't even want to go. And so I offer that always. Your first session is half off for $44. So there's that, which you could take me up on if you want. And the last thing that I wanted to share is that I'm launching Soul Agenda course. I know a few of you have already expressed interest, and we were going to start next week. I got really sick. So now we're going to start the first week in April. And what we experienced today, this was like a little taste. This is just a little taste of what we're going to do in the first week of that course. This is just week 1. It's a 12-week course. And we're really gonna go through this together. You know, we're gonna start where you're at, create where you want to be, and we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there together. You're gonna get there, right? Because we're gonna go through it together. And yeah, so today was just like a little taste of week 1. There's so much more that I'm so excited to share. I mean, like, there's so much information today, right? And I don't want to like overstimulate you or give you too much at a time, because it has to sink in. This is new stuff. This is a new way of being. This is a new perception. So little by little, it has to sink in. So that was a little taste. And like, whoever, you know, wants to find out more about it, you can feel free to contact me. I can also go through it a little bit now for who's ever interested. And yeah, and if I don't have your contact, Noah, I think I don't have I have everybody else's phone number, but Noah, I don't have your phone number. So it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I can put it.
Yeah,
in
if you could
the-
just put your phone number in the chat. I'd love to stay connected in a more personal way, because that's actually what I prefer. And so, yeah, thank you for showing up today too. So yeah, I just, if anyone wants to share right now, the last step actually, so now that we're in this place of possibility, the last step is always, what's the next obvious action to take? Because what's obvious is where your heart is. It's like what's obvious is that superconscious information coming to you. It's connecting with that superconscious field and letting it come to you. So whenever we do a recode, it's important to think about what's obvious now. Like, what action can I take to bring me to this end result? So even if anyone wants to share right now, we can do this kind of popcorn style. If you want to come on and share what's obvious to you. And if you have any questions, I'm here for you to answer any questions. Or you just want to share about your experience, just go ahead and come on and share and ask any questions. And if not, we're going to call it a night. But feel free.
I'll just come on for a second. Thank you. I feel content. I feel peace. I feel complete. And I will say that I wasn't expecting to be told that, oh, there's nothing you can do to get rid of you're not good enough. And that was super refreshing. Like, it was like, wow, this guy's actually telling the truth. Like, this guy's calling it as it really is. Wow, like, okay. And the deeper understanding of, like, it's a dance between where you want to be and where you are, and shortening that distance and being more aware of what that resistance is so that you can handle it better. Thank you. I really needed to hear that. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Noah. Yeah, and you got it. You got it. You know, it's like, I feel like that's part of my mission. There's too many people not telling the truth. And it's okay. It's they probably believe what they're sharing, you know. But this is my truth. This is my truth that I believe, and you're welcome to believe it or not. But it's like, yeah, when you really feel into it, you're like, yeah, this is why, you know, I'm so hard on myself, because it's like I think I'm supposed to be somewhere else. And that's the truth. And if you even go into Buddhism and that way of thinking, it's like the end of suffering is accepting life as it is, not taking away your limiting beliefs. It's accepting life as it is. You know? And it's just that's happens with awareness. It's the only way it can happen. Awareness enough to know that you can change your focus and create your reality really powerfully. You know, that you don't have to be that identity of the past. That you can choose a new one and live into that and know that, yeah, that old identity is going to still come up sometimes. But I don't have to be that most of the time. Right? That's like the shift. I get a choice. And I don't have to pretend like I'm someone that I'm not. That's like also very like, oh my God, it feels so light when you can just like, oh my God, you're telling me I don't need to change. I can just be myself. And that's enough. You know, that's why I love this so much. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Great, really great share. And looking forward to connecting more with you. Anybody else want to share? It's now or never. At least this time.
Well, for me, what is the obvious next step? To keep going, really, is the keep going with you and the processes that I've been doing, because I am making progress. So that's the obvious next step, is stay with it, keep going, you know. Um, yeah, each little bitty step I see, helping more and more. So thank you again, Michael. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate you too. Yeah, and like the easiest way to fall out of it is to stop making choices. You know, you stop making choices, you're gonna stay the same, right? So like that's the easiest way to fall out of it. And when you can continuously make those choices and feel into those choices like you already have them, and without avoiding what it's like now, that's it. It's like literally that simple, but it's like that not enough is going to try to take you out of the game over and over and over and be like, why are you even doing this? It's not working, right? But as you've seen personally, and I know many other of us have seen, it's like those glimpses start to grow. First, it's a glimpse, and then ultimately, it's more of you. You're more in your true nature. You start coming more into your true nature, and it's a practice, because we're so programmed the other way that you have to practice it. So just keep making those choices every day. Yeah, it's the most powerful thing you can do. Yeah, I actually made the choices. I make it every day, and I was sick and I fell out of it for a few days, and then I got back into it, and I like made them really powerfully and really, really felt them. And like literally a couple of the things that I was making choices on happened. One happened right after I was done. Another one happened like an hour later. And so it's like, but it's the repetition, and I'm taking action along with those choices. It's like the past actions now came into fruition in the now. The past actions I had taken came into fruition in the now from feeling it like I already had it. So it's really can create so much amazingness in your life. And as long as you just keep with it,